All right, guys, here is the current state of the little Arduino robot. So since we've last got together on this, I've got a couple things that are different. Last we met, we put the wheels and the caster on. I have gone ahead and installed the power switch for the external battery pack. And I put a little breadboard back here, and it's got 3 LEDs on it that are going to be status LEDs for what's going on. I've mounted the Mega crosswise and put the shield on top of it. And then we have the sonar sensor, the HCSR04 sonar sensor mounted to the front. Now I've got it in upside down right now with these wires just kind of haphazardly splayed across the top. But that's not how it's going to stay. I'm going to flip that over, and you can see here there's a hole. And we'll run the wires underneath like I did for the battery switch. You see the switch comes through here. Then I've broken the red wire with the switch. And then it comes through a hole back here, so they're nice and neat. We have access to the USB programming interface and the power thing here for the Mega, and that's good because we are going to power the Mega with a 9-volt battery that probably going to sit back here in this area somewhere. So let me take you through the programming that I have so far, and then we'll come back for a demo. All right, let's look over the code and see how it's going. So this is the code for the Obstruction Avoiding Robot Vehicle by Learn Electronics, 17 January 2007. Now for the sonar sensor, I am using the new ping library. There's plenty out there. You don't have to use this one. This is the one I'm using. So for the sonar sensor, the trigger pin is 7 and the echo pin is 6. And I'm setting the max distance to 400 centimeters, although it really doesn't seem to pick up anything that far out. So then we initialize the device, new ping sonar, with the trigger pin, the echo pin, and the max distance. Next we have our variables, and these are all variables for controlling the motor shield. Left motor forward to pin 8, left motor backward pin 11. So by driving that high, left motor goes forward. Drive that one low, goes backwards. Left motor speed is 9. Right motor forward to 12, right motor backward to 13, and right motor speed is 10. Now we have our runtime, which is set for 1,000 milliseconds or 1 second, and that's how long each of my called functions are going to last. Next we have our slow speed set for 230 out of 255, and the fast speed set for 255 out of 255. That's the full speed. And then we have this variable called avoid, which is the reading from the sonar sensor. Now down here we have setup. There's only really 2 things. We set all our pins for output, and I set serial begin on so that we can do some debugging if necessary. Now we're going to skip our main loop for a moment, and we're going to go to the subroutines or the functions. The first one is go forward. So we set our left motor speed to fast and our right motor speed to fast. And then we drive both pins on backward to low just to make sure that nothing's happening before we drive them high. And then we drive them high, both motors spin forward. Next we have go backward, which is simply the opposite of go forward. But we're setting our motor speeds to slow, so it backs up slower than it moves forward. Then we have stop. We set both of these to low. And finally we have turn. We set both motors to fast speed. We drive them low. And then the left motor goes backward and the right motor goes forward. And those are all the functions we're using right now. Now for the actual code. The first thing we're going to do is get a reading, and that is this function here, sonar ping underscore cm function. So we say avoid equals sonar ping, and then I'm just printing them out to the serial port for right now, just as a kind of debugging function. Now here is this if-else statement. Basically controls everything that the robot does. So if avoid is greater than 0 and avoid is less than 10, which means it can be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, then the robot is going to stop. And the reason for that is if there is nothing in the range of the sonar sensor for it to bounce it off, it's going to return a 0. So we don't want that to happen. After stopping, it's going to go backwards for 1 second, then is going to turn for 1 second, and then that's the end of that, and it goes back here to check if the coast is clear. Now if avoid is not in that range, which means the coast is clear, it is going to go forward for 1 second and then restart the loop. So that's the code for right now. Let's go look at it in action. All right, we're back. Again, I apologize. I'm going to get a new microphone. Just bear with me. Okay, I've got it up off the ground here because I'm not powering it with any external battery right at the moment. So I have the jumper on here, so it's taking its power from the Arduino, and I don't want to draw too many amps. So I'm going to power it up, and what should happen is it should go into forward mode because, you know, there's nothing out here in front of it. Let me bring this back a little bit. But when my hand gets somewhere in this area, it should trigger the stop, back up, and turn motion. So I'm going to power it up now with a 18650. Alright, so it immediately goes into forward mode. Now my hand is about 18 inches away. I'm bringing it closer. It's about 12 inches, 8 inches, 6 inches, about 5. See, now it's doing the back up and turn. Now we're back into forward mode. Back up and turn. So, as you can see, it seems to be, well, it's following the code, and it seems to be doing what I think I want it to do. So, in the next section, we are going to light up these LEDs. We're going to have one for forward, one for backward, and one for the turn and stop motion. Then we're going to talk about other things we're going to have this do by putting some other sensors on here. But that's it for now. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please give me a thumbs up. Share it with your friends or on any blogs, whatever. And if you haven't subscribed yet, you really should, because then you'll find out right away when the next one of these videos is coming up. I'll see you next time.